There is so much talk about how much money we bring in as real estate agents. But today's video is about how much money we spend in order to be in a position to bring in money as real estate agents. And I want to dial it all the way back to when I got my real estate license in November of 2021. I want to tell you exactly what I spent to get my license. And then I'm going to talk about what I spend now monthly and annually to keep my business going. Here's a link to my video about when I got my real estate license in 2021. I'm in North Carolina. So let me just tell you what I spent to the penny. $632.04 is what I spent in order to be in a position to make money as a real estate agent. Take 632.04. Okay. So now let's get into what I spend monthly and annually to keep my business running. As you all know, I am passionate about cold calling, and the reason I'm passionate about it is there's many reasons, but one of them is that my overhead is low. That makes the ability for me to make money even greater because my margins are better that way. I spend money to be a member of the local MLS, which I'm sure you do or you will be if you're getting your license. I spend $67 a month, which turns out to be $804 per year. Then I also have to pay into my Realtor dues because I'm a Realtor. I am a member of the National Association of Realtors. Those dues go to the city level, the state level, and the national level. So that is a lump sum payment that's due at the beginning of the year. And I just paid mine last month. $695 is what I had to pay. So let's talk about Mojo, my CRM, Customer Relationship Manager. I have been relying on Mojo for almost 10 years now. When I was an ISA, I was using it and I've stayed with it just because I'm not very tech savvy. And once I learn something semi like technical, I don't want to have to learn a new system. And I like Mojo. It does what it needs to do for me. I use it as a CRM. What does that mean? I put all of my leads in there. Like when I buy data from Mojo, those leads appear in the dialer platform. Also, if I go and get some free for sale by owner data from Zillow, apart from getting my data from Mojo, I'll go ahead and type them in there, enter in records for those leads. So my Mojo account houses all of my data, all of my leads. It's super important to me. Bare minimum cost of using Mojo as a CRM is $10 a month. That's what I spend. So I spend $120 a year, and they have not increased that over the past few years. I love that. I don't have to get a separate CRM or anything fancy. I can keep it all in Mojo. Okay, now let's talk about the dialer and let's talk about data. I do not call as much as I should. And if you've seen my other videos, you guys know that I'm working as a part-time real estate agent, and I have been since 2023. So I cannot call every week as I would like. And there's some months that I don't call, unfortunately, but that's the truth. So I don't want to use the dialer every month. I don't want to pay for it every month. The dialer cost, I think it's $99. I just rounded it up to $100 here. But I would say I'm using it maybe 6 months out of the year. So we're going to put $600 right here. You can toggle it on and off, which I think is great. And the best part is too, is they will prorate it. So let's say I start using Mojo's dialer on February 15th. Well, they're only going to charge me the 15th through the 28th. I'm not going to have to pay for the 1st through the 15th or the 14th. So I love that about Mojo. They'll prorate it depending upon when you sign up for the service. And then you can discontinue at any time if you don't want to pay more, if you run out of money, or you don't have the time to dial. So that's what I love about it. So I use Mojo for my CRM. And I also use it for my dialer when I'm actively dialing. Now let's talk about the data. I get my expires from Mojo, and I probably only use about 3 months worth of data a year. And because I lapse in between signing up for data, I take advantage of a little trick that Mojo offers. If you haven't been subscribing to their data for, I think it's like 8 or 9 months, I forgot what it is, you can get the previous year's data for free. So you can get a whole year of expired listings for free if you haven't been subscribing for, I think it's over 6 months or something, if you've had a lapse, which is great. And because you might think, oh, Mandy, it's old data. Well, as I say, if you've heard my videos, old data is gold data. There's so much gold in old data because when you're calling fresh expireds, those people are getting inundated with so many calls. They're going to be a lot more irritated than they would be if they're an older expired because they're not getting as many calls. People do call older expires, but not as many people call them as they do the fresh expired. So if you do sign up for Mojo, ask them, like, hey, it's my first time signing up. Do you have any old expires that I can have for free? And they will give them to you. So I wanted to tell you about that secret savings. Okay. So again, with the data, like the dialer, you can toggle it on and off so you don't have to pay the $50 every month. Let's just say I do 3 months worth of data, and that's a lot of data because as we all know, there's been a lot of expireds lately. So that's a lot to work with. Okay. In addition to that, the data with Zillow, the for sale by owners, are free. And I've got another video. I'll put the link up there so you know how to look for free for sale by owner data with Zillow. Okay, so I'm going to put a big 0 over here. I do not pay for my for sale by owner data. And definitely check out that video. It shows you exactly what I do to pinpoint the for sale by owners in my market that I want to work, and you can do the exact same thing. All right, so let's talk about my phone. What do I use? I do not use my personal phone number to prospect with because having done this for many years, I have found that if you spend the day dialing a couple hundred people, you're going to get so many people that are texting you back, who's this? I got a missed call from this number. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? And I don't want to handle all that. So I use another number for my prospecting, and then once a lead becomes a client, I give them my personal phone number. So I use the Burner Phone app, which I love. You can text with the Burner Phone app, obviously make calls, you can send pictures. You probably could do, again, more than I'm aware of, but because my technical threshold is lower, I just do what I need to do to get my job done. Now, if you want to just subscribe for 1 month at a time, it's $4.99. I do a year in advance. I recently started doing that. So it's $3.99 a month if you pay for 12 months. And let me do my math here. That is $47.88. So I'm paying $47.88 a year for my prospecting line, which is a great. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I've got all those numbers correct. Okay, moving on. My North Carolina Real Estate Commission annual registration fee is $50. Not huge, so I can handle that. All right, let's talk about CE classes. Here in my market, we have to do a general update class, and we also have to do an elective every year. And I think this past year, I paid $115 between the two classes. I also have an LLC registered with my Secretary of State. I have to renew that every year. The renewal for the LLC is $125. And then I also have to file an annual report with the Secretary of State every year. That costs another $200. And because I'm driving all over my local area, I am spending money on tolls. So this is just a rough estimate of what I am spending here, but I think I came up with about $80 on that, or actually $75, we'll say, which seems low right here at the moment, but we'll just say that. I also have a membership with AAA. I'm writing that off as an expense, but I think that's important to have in case you need roadside assistance. So I'm figuring that in. That's $80 a year. I'm sure you know, or if you don't know, you'll be happy to know that you can write off car washes as a real estate agent. So I don't get as many as I should. My car should look better than it does, but I just gonna get the basic car wash. I think it's like, well, they probably raised it. Everything is going up in cost now, but I think it's been a while since I've washed it, given that we're here in the winter, but I think it's about, let's say, $15 a wash. I just threw in $80 for car washes. And then I do like the interior myself. I don't have anybody do that. I just do the exterior. And then office supplies, I average about $80 a month. I probably spend the most on toner for my printer, and then paper for the printer, and then pitch materials, maybe with Canva. I would spend, just pens, maybe things for, folders for pitch books, that about $80 a year. So nothing too extravagant. Okay, so if you add up all of those, these are the basic expenses that you will have as a cold calling real estate agent. That's 322188. I don't know why that's different from when I did it a minute ago. I must have done something different. So 322180, let's just say 3,300 divided by 12. You're looking at about $275 a month, guys. $275 a month to keep your business going, to put you in a position to make money. I think that is great overhead. No brick and mortar here. You can do this all from the comfort of your own home like I'm doing. So I think that's fantastic. Now I have this section down here. I just started my own website this year. It's a very basic website, nothing fancy, but what I need to communicate value to my prospects when I call them. And the hosting the website annually is $300. And then I had to reserve the URL, and that's $2 annually. I think it was two and change, just say $2. And then in addition to doing this channel here for you guys, I also have another customer facing channel for my real estate business, and I'm finally investing in video editing. Not expensive video editing, but basic video editing that's taking some of the pressure off me to get those videos out on a weekly basis. And I wish I could get more out here to this channel. I'm going to try to do at least one a month, but between the two channels and then the real estate business itself, it's just a lot. But so I've invested in a video editor this year, and I'm paying $2,400 a year or $200 a month. That's what the basic expenses are. Like if you were going to not do the website, the URL, and the video editing, that's what you'd be looking at $275 a month. I'm going to add the additional here, 302 plus 2,400. So 5923.88, 5923.88. Let's round it up to 6,000. So I am paying $500 a month to run my real estate business. So that is pretty impressive. I am excited. Obviously, I'm going to want to continue to invest money in the business and as I make more money, but this is all that I'm investing at this point. I'm in my third year now as a part-time agent. And now I just want you guys to know that this does not include marketing materials for listings. Real estate signs, they could vary in pricing. My real estate sign provider, they're $100 each just for the for sale sign in the front yard. The listing photos and an accompanying floor plan is about $450 each between both. And then lock boxes are $40 to $50 each, depending upon if you buy a few together or not. So that's apart from all this. But look at this, guys, $275 a month or $500 a month. That's pretty good. And I just want to share this with you because I really believe in cold calling. I don't want to pay for leads. I get inundated a lot by people texting me, hey, we've got some great leads in your area. Do you want to pay us $75 a month or whatever? And I'm like, nope, I want to handle my own lead generation. I don't want to pay Zillow. I don't want to pay Facebook or Instagram for ads and that kind of thing. I just want to do it myself. I keep my costs down so that my margins for profit are greater. And you can do the same thing. I think that's it. So again, I've got a few different links in this video. One is for getting your license in North Carolina. The other one is for how to get free for sale by owner data with Zillow. And then the last thing that I wanted to tell you guys about that I will put up there is if you are brand new to being a real estate agent and you don't know where to start, I've got a great 8-video playlist that I've curated and I have it together here on this channel. That I think that you should check out. It takes you from A to Z. It tells you exactly what you need to do to start cold calling for sell by owner leads. I recommend for sell by owner because they're free. You don't have to spend any money on them. They're available on Zillow. I tell you exactly what I do. I tell you about my follow-up system that I use using Google Sheets. It's a great system. When you're just starting out, you're lost. You're getting thrown so much at you like, oh, buy this marketing thing, do this, do this, do this. I really like this playlist because it is a course. Although it's not an actual course, it's just the videos that I've recorded over the last several years, handpicked for you because I know they will take you from one sequential step to the other to teach you how to put together your own way of generating business and getting your appointment scheduled. Okay, so I'll put a link there. I'm not really good with pointing to the links, but it's somewhere here in this video. I'll put it in the description as well so you can see the links. Check out that playlist. There's 8 videos. That playlist was designed to get you up and running to begin cold calling for sale by owners, and then you can move on to expires if you're ready to spend another $99 a month and spend money on the dialer. I use the single line dialer, by the way. I do not do the triple dialer, so that's $100 a month. I think the triple dialer is $150, but I think it's better to use the single line dialer because I think it's less of a robocall if you do a single line dialer or if there's any kind of liability there. I used to be on the triple line dialer years ago, but I don't do that anymore, and I save money now that I'm paying for it on my own. But if you're calling for sale by owners, you don't need a dialer. You just need your phone, okay? I call them from my burner app, and it works great. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. You can do this. You can keep your expenses low and position yourself to be in a great place to make money by making these calls and getting the appointments and going from there. Thank you so much for watching my channel. I hope to put out at least one video a month, if not two, going forward this year. But I don't want to let this channel lapse anymore. As I'm ramping up my business, I'm going to do everything to be present for you here on this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.